Hi, welcome to the first noon Zoom of the Chamber's Women's Week presented by American One Credit Union. I'm Janelle Merritt, Vice President of Community Partnerships at American One. This morning you heard the kickoff to the entire week given by our President and CEO, Martha Firstenow. Then just now you saw a proclamation by our Mayor, Derek Dobies. Thank you so much to the both of you for starting our week on an exciting trajectory. Today, with our first noon Zoom, you'll hear from Linda Meloche. She is a Dale Carnegie trainer, and she's here to talk to us about tips for perseverance. Thank you so much, Linda. Welcome. Take it away.
All right. Thank you so much, Janelle. As Janelle said, my name is Linda Meloche, and I am indeed a Dale Carnegie instructor. I've been doing that for over 35 years in Jackson and in Ann Arbor. So I'm honored to be with you here today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you 10 different suggestions, tips, tricks, and secrets to persevere through difficult times. And I am confident that you're not going to be able to apply all of these tips, but I'm thinking if maybe you can apply one or two of them, it will make your days and your weeks and your months go a little bit smoother, and will also maybe have you be able to go through day by day with a little bit less anxiety. So first of all, I want to let you know that when I share these tips, you do not have to worry about remembering them or jotting them down or anything, because our own Tim Booth is going to make available to you the list of 10. So there are 10 different things, and he will make that available to you. So you'll kind of have it as a cheat sheet for later. So I will dive into the first one. I'm not seeing anybody that's got their video camera on. I see Jessica's picture, which is lovely. But if anybody is brave enough to put their video camera on, it makes that lots more fun for me if I can actually see a face or two. So for those of you who are brave enough to put your camera on, a thank you in advance. All right. So the first thing, the first tip, the first suggestion to persevere through difficult times is to remember during difficult times the things for which you are grateful. You've probably heard before how important it is to keep a gratitude journal or a list of the things that you count as your blessings in your life. They say count what you got, not what you don't got. So I recommend that you take that a step further and actually do what I call the 30-day gratitude challenge. And here's how it works. Day one, you list 3 things for which you are grateful. Now, I say actually list as in, don't just think them in your head. I want you to actually write them down. And now it could be, you could do it up on a document, that's fine. But I really think that there's a lot of power in the pen. So if you can actually take a good old fashioned piece of paper and an old pen and write it down, the first day, day one, 3 things for which you are grateful. But here's the trick. On day 2, there are no repeats. So if on day 1 you wrote, I am thankful for my health and my family and my job, well, those are done then. On day 2, you have to think of 3 other things for which you are grateful. And so what happens after 30 days of the 30-day gratitude challenge is you end up diving really deep into the things for which you're grateful. And here's the value in that. It's easy to lose sight. It's easy to lose the balance. It's easy to forget all of the things that are going well in your life when you feel you are inundated with the things that are going difficultly or the things that are challenging you right now. So it helps you to put things into perspective, and it helps you to realize too that there is hope on the horizon. Additionally, here's one more thing that it does when you take the 30-day gratitude challenge, because I did this with my mom and my sisters. I'm lucky enough to have, speaking of gratitude, having a mom here on this earth and 3 sisters. And we did the 30-day gratitude challenge for the month of December, okay? So in the heart of what I would call the COVID winter, right? So every day we listed to each other 3 things for which we are grateful. And here's what happened. I found myself at the beginning of the day actually seeking out, ooh, what is going to be my thing? What are going to be my 3 things today that I'm going to be grateful for? And here's magic. When you look for, when you're searching for, when you're mindful of things that you are grateful for, they start popping up out of the surface. Seek and ye shall find. What you look for is truly what you'll find. So when you look for things to be grateful for, they rise to the surface. So suggestion number 1 is take the 30-day gratitude challenge. Suggestion number 2 is reframe your thoughts. Reframe your thoughts. We cannot control the events that occur in our lives, but we can control our attitude. Now, again, I'm not seeing anybody here, but Scouts Honor, raise your hand if you talk to yourself. Arlene, Lindsay, Marina, Sheila, Jasmine, Heidi, Gabriella, raise your hand if you talk to yourself. Okay, those of you who aren't raising your hand are going, do I talk to myself? I wonder if I talk to myself. I think I do talk to myself. We are constantly feeding ourselves messages, and usually they are not very positive. So here's what my suggestion is reframe your thoughts. No, you can't control what's going on around you, but you can decide your reaction. Pay attention to what you say to yourself because it actually does matter. Have you ever woken up in the morning and said to yourself, it's going to be a bad day? And then what happens? It's a bad day. Well, of course it is. You have just programmed yourself. Your brain takes those things as a command. Garbage in, garbage out is as true now as it's ever been. So don't sabotage yourself that way. Instead of waking up in the morning and saying, oh, another day, consider saying, I get another day. Pay attention. Now, I'm not a big affirmation person, but I have come across a cool phrase that they say if you say this phrase 25 times in the morning, 25 times midday, and 25 times as your head is hitting the pillow at night, you can notice a difference, or you will notice a difference in your attitude, a significant difference. And they say if you don't notice a difference in your attitude by saying this very short phrase for 75 times a day, then stop doing it. But if you do notice a difference, tell somebody else about it. I'm telling you because I noticed a difference. The phrase is simply, I am, I can, I will. So 25 times in the morning, I am, I can, I will. 25 times midday, and 25 times before your head hits the pillow at night. Now you're saying this to yourself. You're not saying it out loud, or people will look at you like you're crazy. So saying to yourself, I am, I can, I will. Well, thanks, Marina. I'm telling you, when you talk to a blank screen, you kind of wonder if anybody's out there. So thanks in the chat from Marina. Appreciate the support and the encouragement. Look at the little heart from Sheila. Thanks, y'all. All right, so pay attention to what you say to yourself. Number 3 is move. Now, I don't mean move from Michigan because we need you good women here in Michigan, but I mean move your body. Every day, move your body a little bit. So that can mean something like yoga or doing a serious workout, but it doesn't have to mean that. It can mean simply standing up, walking around a little bit, and then sitting down again. I highly recommend, especially as the weather is getting nicer, get outside. All right. Get outside and move around outside. That sunshine on you is going to be therapeutic. You're going to breathe in some fresh air. Move your body a little bit every day. Now, moving your body could also just mean stretching too. Let's all together. Scouts on, are you doing it with me now? I don't want to do this by myself. I want you to stretch just a little bit. Do that stretch that you do with your arm. Maybe arms over your head and stretch a little bit that way. Oh, man, that feels good. Stretch a little bit this way too. Move your body a little bit every day. Thanks again, Heidi. Thanks, Sheila. Appreciate the good comments. So move a little bit every day. The cool thing that happens too when you move your body, it doesn't just help with being physically fit. It really helps with your emotions. They say move a muscle, change an emotion. If you're feeling anxious, move. Just move a little bit. All right, I'm glad to see some of you are moving. All right. Next suggestion is what I call one random act of kindness. So it was a little over a year ago, one of the very last times that I could meet for in-person church before our church shut down for in-person worship, right? So there I am sitting next to the mom of 3 boys, triplets, all in first grade, all high energy. And usually these boys are just all over the place, and this poor mom is just trying to corral these kids. But for whatever reason, on this particular day, those 3 boys were sitting quietly next to their mom, making little pipe cleaner necklaces for her. And I thought, ooh, Linda, jump on the positive. So I leaned over to the mom and I whispered, that's so nice that your kids still make you homemade necklaces. My kids don't do that anymore. And it's not that I have bad kids, it's that my kids are in their late 20s and early 30s. And trust me, when kids get that old, they are no longer making you homemade necklaces. So anyway, about 10 minutes later, I felt this little tap, tap, tap on my shoulder. And there was one of the little boys named Nicholas holding up this baby. Yes, holding up this beautiful necklace. And I said, for me? And he said, yes. So I immediately put it on. And then I had some things I needed to do in front of the church. So I get up in front of the church wearing Nicholas's necklace, and I'm talking for a little while. And then I sit down next to Nicholas and I lean over to him and I whisper, hey, thanks for the necklace. And he leaned over to me and he whispered, you've got it on backwards. And sure enough, I did turn it the right way. It did look better. So here's what I did, you guys. I started what I call the pipe cleaner challenge. So again, I teach the Dale Carnegie course, wonderful program, life-changing program that I'm lucky enough to teach in Jackson and Ann Arbor. And I started with my classes what I called the pipe cleaner challenge. I brought in Nicholas's necklaces. Nicholas's necklace. That's hard to say. And I told the class what this little boy had done for me, small act of kindness. And I said, now I'll Nick's necklace to one of you, and I want you to go out and do something nice for somebody. And I want you to come back to class, tell us what you did, and I want you to pass it along to someone else. So the pipe cleaner challenge began, and you guys, all sorts of good things started happening. All sorts of good things started happening. So much so that I went back to the triplet boys and I said, hey, can you guys make me a whole bunch of these necklaces? And they did. They made me a boatload of pipe cleaner necklaces, which I started giving out to everybody and suggesting that they start their own pipe cleaner challenge so that hundreds of good things started happening. So think in terms of some random act of kindness. Shoot for once a week, you guys. Shoot to do this once a week. Do something randomly kind for someone. In fact, let's start out. I want everybody to take your left hand. You take your left hand, and I want you to reach across your body, and I want you to grip your right shoulder with that left hand. Okay, ready? Now I want you to take your right hand. I want you to reach over your body and now grip your left shoulder. So you kind of got your arms crossed in front of you. And I want you to give those shoulders a good squeeze. Ready? Squeeze. All right. And now let go. Put your hands back down again. So what you've just done, you guys, is you've given yourself a hug. You've given yourself a hug. I highly recommend that when it comes to random acts of kindness, that you don't forget yourself. Give yourself a hug every day and remind yourself that if you are not kind to yourself, it is hard to be kind to other people. You can't give what you ain't got, said Maya Angelou. You can't give what you ain't got. So you got to be kind to yourself first, and then the kindness will flow out to other people. So number 4, if anybody's keeping track, is one random act of kindness. 5 is allow yourself one guilt-free indulgence every day. Now, I don't mean for the rest of your life. I mean for the duration of this goldarn pandemic. While we are still in this pandemic, while we are still in COVID times, give yourself one guilt-free indulgence a day. Here's what I mean by that. It could be something that you like to eat. Like, I do not let a day go by without enjoying one really good quality piece of chocolate every afternoon. Don't let a day go by without it. Maybe it's something that you like to watch. Maybe there's a TV show. Okay, I want y'all to think about right now, when you were a kid, what's a TV show that you used to love? All right, let's hear it in chat. So go ahead and put it in chat right now. What's a TV show when you were a kid that you used to love to watch? Think about that for a second and then put it in chat. All right. Charlie's Angels. Oh my gosh. All right. That's good. That's good. Excellent. What else besides Charlie? So I won't reveal who said, well, yeah, it's to everyone, you know, Scooby-Doo. I think that's you, Tim. Anyway, so the things that you used to love to watch as kids, they are readily available on YouTube and on Netflix. So what I recommend is whatever brought you joy as a kid in terms of watching TV, watching pleasure, call it up again now. Nostalgia is a great way to indulge, and it can be something totally silly. In fact, it should be something totally silly. One indulgence needs to be non-productive once a day. So here's what we started a year ago, you guys, when COVID really started heating up, which is like a year ago now. My husband, Chris, and my daughter, Carly, and I started what we called the Margarita Challenge. Now, this is not every day. We must get things done in our lives, and we're not be drinking margaritas every day, but once a week. So we set out to figure out what is the best frozen margarita recipe. And once a week, we would make a different frozen margarita recipe. I'll tell you what the results are. Here was number 1, mango margarita, then pineapple, then peach, then strawberry banana. Who would have thought strawberry banana would be at the bottom? I did not think that, but those are the results, you guys. Then we moved on to daiquiris. So if you want to know the results of the daiquiri challenge, you can check back in with me later. But what I mean is you need to indulge in one goofy, silly, non-productive thing just once a day and just for the duration of this pandemic. That's my next suggestion. Up next is stay close to your feelings, you guys. Feelings aren't good or bad, they just are. And when you pretend like you're not feeling an emotion or a feeling, when you tamp it down, that does not make it go away. That tends to make things be more amplified. It's okay to be angry right now. It's okay to be angry right now. It's okay to be sad right now. It's okay to grieve right now. It's even okay to be happy right now. Some people feel like with all the suffering going on in the world that you haven't earned the right to be happy. So here's the trick with emotions, you guys. You got to feel all the feels. You got to allow yourself to feel all the emotions. You got to take them all in. But here's the important part. Then you got to let them go. So one way to take all the emotions in is to write them all down, or to maybe vent with a good friend. And if you're writing them all down, when you're done writing down everything that you're feeling right then, when you're done, you got to burn that piece of paper or crumple it up and throw it away, depending on how dramatic you want to be about it. But then you got to let it go. Another good way to let go of emotions is to meditate. So there is strength and joy in letting go of emotions when you meditate. But the thing is with our feelings is we have to accept them, and that they're not good or bad. They're important. We need to feel them fully, but then we need to let them go. So stay close to your feelings, especially during difficult times. Number 7 is avoid toxicity. Some of us have gotten into some really toxic habits. Let me give you an example that might be pretty close to home. I am not anti-social media, but sometimes social media can get to the point where it is toxic in our lives. So in other words, if you are in the habit of doom scrolling, of just going through and letting Twitter constantly wash over you, or Instagram or Facebook or whatever it is whatever platform you spend most of your time with, if it becomes too much, then you need to be honest with yourself and ask yourself, is there something more productive I could be doing with my time? Or is there something more creative I could be doing with my time? I'm not asking you to stop your time on social media. I'm asking you to consider maybe doing a little less tomorrow. If you have gotten in the habit of watching news, the 24-hour news cycle, if you've gotten the habit of watching multiple hours of news, think of just doing a little less of that tomorrow. And here's what happens when you spend a little bit of less time in those toxic habits. It frees up more time for really cool, creative things. It frees up more time to just chill. It frees up more time to maybe sleep a little more. Guys, I could talk for an hour on how important sleep is. I won't, because I don't have that time right now. But you guys must already know that when you are sleep deprived, it impacts every aspect of your life. So when you spend a little less time on social media, maybe it'll give you a little bit more free screen time that you can actually let go and sleep. All right. So be honest with yourself about some of those toxic habits and just consider doing a little bit less of them. All right. Here's a tough one now. It's a tough one, but an important one, y'all. Once a week, purposely do something difficult. Purposefully do something that's hard. What? Why would I suggest that? Why in the midst of hard times do we have to do something that's specifically hard? You might be saying to yourself, Linda, my life is already hard enough. Why would I do that to myself? And here's why. There's goodness that can come in stretching your comfort zone. That's a term that we use in Dale Carnegie. So in the Dale Carnegie course, we are all about surprising yourself with your greatness and your goodness, where you realize you are so much better than you think you are. And that's what happens when you do something that is difficult. Yes, Sheila, getting out of our box does indeed help us grow. When we are constantly in our box, that's not where the growth takes place. The growth takes place outside of the box. Let me give you an example. So for me, I am greatly challenged by the Stairmaster at my gym. Even before COVID times, Stairmaster used to just try to kick my butt every time I got on it. Well, I will tell you, I am lucky enough to go to a gym that not very many people go to when I go there. I go super early in the morning, so I'm grateful that I can go. Naturally, I do have a mask on, and doing the Stairmaster with a mask on is like twice as hard. So I'll be on the Stairmaster. I was on it this morning, man. And always, here's the thought that goes through my mind when I'm on the Stairmaster with my mask on. I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. But then another little voice in my head goes, yes, you can, Linda. Just do it for one more minute. And then I do it for one more minute. And then I go, oh my gosh, that was so hard. But I did it. But I did it. I didn't think I could do it, but I did it. And that is the value of doing something that stretches your comfort zone. That is the value of doing outside your box. You realize you're stronger than you think you are. You realize that you are better than you think you are. In fact, the cool thing about doing something difficult is that it's not always going to be difficult. The more that you do it, the easier and the easier it gets. This is how we succeed at things. We put ourselves out there. We don't worry about being perfect. We forget about perfection and we take an intelligent risk in our life. And then we realize that we can do so much more than we think you can. It's just like your hands. Everybody take and put your hands just like this. Okay? I'm going to trust that you're doing it. I'm going to trust y'all are putting your hands just like this. And I want you to take and clasp your hands together just like that. And I want you to look down and notice which thumb is on top, whether it's the thumb of your right hand or the thumb of your left hand. Okay? So noted. Pull your hands apart. Go ahead and put them back together again. Notice. Is it the same thumb that's on top? Good, it should be. For the very last time, pull your hands apart. And this time, I want you to consciously and purposefully put the other thumb on top. Ready, go. How does that feel? Weird. It feels weird because you're not used to doing it that way. If every day you practiced putting the other thumb on top, now I don't know why you'd want to do that, but if every day you practice that, that would start to feel normal. That would start to feel comfortable. And the same is true with the difficult things in our life. It's going to be hard at first, but it will get easier and easier. If any of you have heard of the term before, neuroplasticity, you know what I'm talking about with forming new and good habits. If you don't know what neuroplasticity means, Google it, you guys. Not right now, because I'm talking right now. But later on, Google that, and you will be amazed at the good things that can happen with neuroplasticity and doing difficult things. So check that out later. All right, my next suggestion, and I'm almost done now. Second to last suggestion is during difficult times, it is vital that you stay connected with your loved ones, whether your family members or your friends. And I know that during these COVID times, you can't stay connected just yet the way that you want to. I get that. I get that. Now, we talk about social distancing. You can actually, it's really more physical distancing that we need to do right now. You can actually still be socially connected to people and not be physically close to them. So you got to get creative with it. So as I said before, I have 3 sisters and a mom. I'm lucky enough to have a mom living on this earth. If you are lucky enough to have a living mom on this earth, don't let another day go by without contacting your mom and telling her that you love her. All right. There's my extra credit challenge for you. But in the meantime, here's the creative way that I keep in touch with my sisters and mom. I haven't hugged my mom in over a year. And I know that's like nothing compared to what most people have to deal with. And I know I will hug my mom again. But in the meantime, here's the next best thing, which is every day at 4 o'clock, we have a Zoom session where we get caught up with each other. Every Sunday at 12:30, we have family games where the nieces and the nephews and everybody all get together and play fun, crazy, silly family games. Get creative. So think of creative ways to stay connected with your loved ones. Think right now, who's somebody that you could reach out to that you could uplift? Because the amazing thing is when you uplift other people, you lift yourself as well. So think in terms of reaching out to somebody who's maybe even more lonely than you are right now. So think about staying connected with the people you love. And here's my last tip, you guys. It's a Dale Carnegie thing, which is called live your life in day-tight compartments. Here's what Mr. Carnegie meant about that. You need to take things one day at a time. I know right now it seems like this pandemic is never going to end. But knock on the wood of my kitchen table, it will. And we need each other to get through this. So I implore you to be less judgmental and more kind to the people around you, loved ones and strangers alike. Raise your hand, and I can't see it, but raise your hand and be honest if you've ever heard of the movie The Sound of Music. Okay, if you've never seen The Sound of Music, you guys, put it in your queue, put it in your list, because that is a seriously feel-good movie right there. The star of The Sound of Music is a woman named Julie Andrews, who grew up in World War II London. Yeah, look at the thumbs up and the hands raised. Thanks, y'all. So Julie Andrews grew up in World War II London, when, if y'all know your World War II London history, they were bombing London during World War II. And Julie was just a little girl, and she talked about a recent interview. She talked about being a little girl and huddling in their bomb shelter, sitting on her mom's lap and being so afraid. And she said in this interview that her mom used to say this to her. And I'll give you my best Julie Andrews mom accent, okay? Her mom said to her, Julie, everything comes with a beginning and a middle and an end. And so does this. Everything, you guys, comes with a beginning and a middle and an end. And so does this. So remind yourself that you are stronger than you know. Remind yourself, and I'm going to give you a call to action here. See if you can put one of these ideas into play tomorrow. You don't have to do all of them. See if you can do one of them. See if you can do one of these things tomorrow and see what kind of a difference it makes in terms of your wellness, in terms of you feeling just a teensy bit better. And if it helps, I encourage you to do another one the next day. I also encourage you to share it with other people. I want to do a quick shout out and say to thank you to Tim and to the Chamber and to all the wonderful companies in Jackson that have sent me people to the Dale Carnegie course. I will tell you right now, we're not yet to the point of being able to do in-person classes. That will come back again. We do classes in Jackson, public classes. That will happen again. In the meantime, we've got great live online classes, so that'll keep us sustained until then. So if you want more information on the Dale Carnegie course, please contact me. So on the sheet that Tim's going to share with you, it's got my phone number. So call me, text me, send me an email if you'd like more information for you or for anybody else you know. Thanks for letting me join you here today. And I hope that the rest of your day goes really well. Thanks, you guys. Bye-bye. Thanks, you guys, also for the nice comments. I'm seeing them right now, so appreciate that. All right, take it from here, Tim.
Okay, Linda, thank you very much. That was absolutely wonderful.